27. Doortron. The people are called Doortrons in the galaxy of Dor. They make cakes and pies. When I got there it was just getting light out. I got off the bus and went to the bus station. When I got there it seemed like the bus station was not open until I got up to the door and see the lights on inside. I went in and went up to the desk and said, "Do you know where the Wisha Inn is?" She looked at me and said, "Go out the door and take a left and go down 3 streets and take a right and it is the 4th building down on the left." I said, "Thank you," and left. As I was walking down the street looking at everything it seemed like some really old buildings. When I finally got there and went up to the door was locked and I knocked and no one come to the door. I called the office and said, "Call the Wisha Inn here and see if you can get anyone." This I hung up and I could hear the phone ringing and that was a good sign. Soon someone picked up the phone and said, "The Wisha Inn and how can I help you?" He soon hung up the phone and I see him coming my way and he unlocked the door and let me in. I said, "Thank you, and is there anyone on night shift to keep the inn open?" He said, "No, there is not right now, we just cannot afford to hire someone to run the disc at night." I said, "We can take care of that." I said, "Hire someone to work the night shift and they will get paid no matter what, okay?" He said, "Okay, and who are you?" I said, "I am Jack Wisha and the owner of the Wisha newspaper and all the Wisha Inns." He said, "I have heard of you but until now I have never seen you. I know I have a lot of planets to go to and get as many ads as I can. That is what makes the newspaper, ads and news. There will be many changes here and for the better and I hope everyone will be happy with the changes. But I guess some will and some won't." He said, "I guess you are right, some of us will like the change but others will not. I guess it is like how you look at things. Some of the stuff that goes on in a inn. Like the time we had a elderly lady that called down and just could not turn on the lamp beside her bed. I sent someone up to check it out and come to find out the bulb was out, so we replaced it. The next night the same thing and the bulb was burned out and we replaced it. It went on like that every night she stay here. We went through 8 bulbs and wondering what was going on. She was taking the out and replacing them with her burned out ones. The ones we placed were the fluorescent ones and she replaced them with regular bulbs. I kind of though she was going that. It really did not make sense to say anything. The room was $94 per night plus tax and the bulb was only $5. It just did not make sense to say anything but go and replace the bulb. Then we found out later her boyfriend was paying for the room and I guess she needed some bulbs. When she left I was wondering where she put all the bulbs so they would not break. Then we went to clean the room and she had just about taken everything that was in the room, blankets, sheets, bath towels and washcloths and hand towels and even all the soap. We just call him up and he said whatever is missing just put it on his credit card. She does it everywhere she stays. I don't not mind, it is cheaper than her living with me. She does it once a year. She gets to spend my money and she likes to do it. I said, "Sounds like you have some fun here sometimes." He said, "It gets pretty good sometimes." I said, "I really need to get to my room and make some phone calls." He said the phone book is in the room and then he passed me the key and said, "What would you like for lunch?" I said fries and a chicken sandwich. He said, "Okay, when it is done we will bring it up." I said, "That would be really good," and I walked off and went over to my room and went in. I went into my room and it looked really clean and everything in here looked almost brand new. I know this room is not used much because it's the salesman's room. I made some calls and got some ads for the paper and even some job listings, land and homes for sale. The best part, I got some really good news too. They are building a new plant here and there will be all kinds of jobs and other things that will be needed. After I put down the phone there was a knock at the door and I am hoping it is lunch. I got up and opened the door and it was lunch and it was a pretty woman standing there and she said, "Here is your lunch, do you need anything else?" I said, "What do you have to drink? I forgot it." She said we have just about everything. What would you like? I said a diet soda. She said okay and walked away. It was not long when she come back to the door. I had left it open and I said, come in, and sat down. She come in and sat down, and then she said, I heard you were here and I had to find out what you looked like. Is that a good or bad thing? She said it is a good thing. Then she looked at me and said, I thought you was a little older than what you are, and for what I have heard you was old and mean. So I guess they were wrong. There has been times that I have had to fire someone, but most of the time they just quit because they don't want to do the job that they was hired for. I tried to put them someplace else to do a different job, but they did not want it, and at the time that was the only job that I had. So they just walked out and I did not see them again. So I guess some people just don't need help or a job. She just looked at me and then said, I guess some people you just can't help. So I am old and mean to them. Bad stuff travels faster than good stuff. So how can I help you out? She just looked at me and then said slowly, me and my son need a place to stay and I work here part-time and we just cannot afford an apartment here, and right now we live with my elderly mom and soon she will need full-time care, and living with her I just have no life. She has someone to come in and take care of her every day now and she don't need me there all day. We just need some place to stay besides with my mom. I know what you mean, need your own space, so you can do what you want to do besides being at home and just cannot do anything or go anywhere with your mom saying it is okay. I know what you mean. I want you to get everyone that works here to be here at 3 this afternoon, and at that time your problem will be solved, okay? She said okay and got up and left. It is about noon now, so I have my work cut out for me now. I got 3 hours to get the trainer here. I called the office and asked where the trainer is, and she said it is on a planet training in one of the Wisha Inns right now, and I know he will be there for at least another 2 or 3 days. Call him and have him call me here. She said okay and hung up. It was not long and the phone rang and it was the trainer. I said, when can you be here? I really need you here by 3 this afternoon. He said, I am not very far from you, I can be there then, let me make a call to get a ride there. I said okay, I will see you around 3 this afternoon then. He said he will be here. I said thanks. I made some more calls to get some new paper ads. I need some more ads for next week's ads. This week is all done so far. It was a little after 2 and there was a knock on my door and I got up and it was the trainer. I said, boy, am I glad to see you. He said, okay, what is going on that you needed me here so quick? I need you to give them the change of how things are done here now. Like if you want you can live here, and how all the new stuff that will be in place as soon as possible. He said okay, so what is the hurry to get this started here? I have some people here that need a place to stay, like tomorrow, so you need to explain what is going to happen and get it set up as soon as possible. He said okay, that will work, and I brought all the stuff I need to get things going. It is just about 3 now and let's go downstairs to see everyone and get things going. When we got there we found only 4 people in the whole place. I said, is everyone here that works here now? One of them spoke up and said, I am the manager here, there is only 4 of working now. When it gets better we have 2 more that will work part-time and they have full-time jobs other places. So they will only work when they are needed. Okay, I want to introduce you the Wisha Inn trainer, and he will tell about all the new things we are doing now and helping out our employees out and also making things work better here. So here he is, the Wisha newspaper and trainer. He stepped up and said, I am going to now play this video and after it is done we will take questions. He started the video and it was about everything that was set in motion and much more. So I sat and watched it too, and everything that was said was correct, and I am glad that he made on and just have to play it that way, everything is in it and don't have to worry about missing something that needed to be said. The move got over and we had one hand up. It was the woman I was talking to earlier. She said, when will the housing be available to rent? It will be ready by tomorrow afternoon. If anyone wants a room, be here about 4 tomorrow afternoon and then you can pick your own room out." Then I stood up and said, "We are here to help you with anything goes on in the Wisha Inn and in your lives. We are here to help in any way we can to keep the service level to the best it can be. The room rates will change and food prices will change and even your pay will change to the better, we hope. So just bear with us until all the changes can take effect here in the office. Most of everything will be in place by tomorrow afternoon. It is just about time for the bus to show up and I am on it and I will be back in the morning to help get this straightened out." He said, "Okay, and where do I stay?" I said, "You can stay in room 1 where all the salesmen stay when here. I am going home so I don't need it." He said, "Okay, that will work." I looked at the manager and said, "Dinner is on me and go around and take the orders for everyone and when I come back in the morning I will pay the bill." He said okay and I left and went over to the room and put everything in my briefcase and headed for the bus station. Just as I got there the bus pulled in and I got right on and went to my room and called the captain and said, "I am here and call me when we get back to the newspaper, okay?" He said okay and have a nice nap. I said I hope so. Then I laid down and it was not long before I went to sleep. I went back the next day with a new laptop with all the software installed and ready to go. All we had to do was put all the employees in and all the companies that we have to pay and how many rooms and what size they are and the price of each room. That will not take long at all but needs to be done. This way we can tell who is renting the room and for how much. By the day, week, or month. So I hope everything is ready to get things rolling this morning. I got there and it was just getting light. I got off the bus and headed for the inn. I got there and all the lights was on and I went and everyone was there eating breakfast and I just went in and sat down and someone come over and I said, "Home fries and fried chick breast." He said okay, it will be right up. I looked around and did not see the trainer. When he brought breakfast over and I said, "Where is the trainer?" He said he just went to his room to change and get ready before you got here, but I guess you beat him. He will be right out as soon as he gets ready. I said that will work. It was not long when he come out and sat down on the other side of me and said, "You ready to get things going here?" I reached over and passed him a case and he said it is the laptop that will be used in the office for all the paperwork. I said yes it is and then he grabbed it and went into the office and started to put all the information in. When I got there he was just about done and then he said it will only take me another 10 minutes and I will be done. I went back out and sat down at one of the tables and just waited. It was not long when he come out and said everything is in the computer now and here is the laptop that everything is in. I said okay, that is good. Now you will have to find all the back paperwork on as much of the rooms that was rented and all the bills. I have to make a call, hold on. I went and got the phone and called the bank and said, "This is Jack Wisha from the Wisha newspaper and I am at the Wisha Inn here and what I would like to have is a printout of all the deposits for as far back as you can go." The woman said just a minute and she put me on hold and after a few minutes she come back on and said you will have to come down here and talk to the manager. I said well I have to go to the bank and while I am gone I want you to talk to the manager and find out what kind of paperwork they were doing and where it is. He said okay and headed to the office and called the manager in. I left and headed back to the bus station and when I got there I went inside and said where is the Wisha Bank here? He said go out the door and take a right and go down 3 streets and take a left on Wisha Street and it is down on the right. I said okay and as I was walking there I see some old buildings that looked like no one lived in them, they were so run down. I got to the back and it looked old too and needed some work done on the outside. I went and it looked like brand new inside. I went up to the counter and said I need to talk to the manager and I am Jack Wisha. She looked at me and said as she pointed down a small hall, 3rd door on the right. I said okay thanks. I walked down and knocked on the door and a voice said come in. I opened the door and went and sat down and she said I need to see you ID. I took it out and passed it to him, and then he passed it back to me and then said, here is a printout of as much information we have, and it is not much. There was 1 page of deposits over the years and there was 2,000 in the account. I said, did they ever turn in all the bills to be paid in payroll? He said nothing ever was turned in, and sometimes we did not see them for months at a time. I called about every month to find out if the inn was still there. It was, and I should have called the main office but really never thought of calling you. Well, if anything happens like this again, please call me, will you? I took the paperwork and headed back to the Wisha Inn. Before I left I said, where is the inn? She said, go out the door and take a right and it is the 4th building on the right. Wow, I went to the bus station before I come here and it was just down the street. I left and went back to the inn. I got there and when I went inside it looked like a war zone. Everyone was fighting and breaking furniture. The first thing I said was, hey everyone, take a seat and stay there or the cops will be called and all of you will go to jail. Just as I finished, one said, get him. Someone come toward me and I just grabbed them and just flung them in the wall, and I did that to just about all of them, and it was not long before everyone was sitting down or laying around. I said, get up and sit down and listen. Finally they listened to me, and then I asked the manager what was going on. He said the trainer come in the office and said, where is all the paperwork and all the bills and room receipts? I said, just a minute, and he went off and started hitting me, and finally I got away from him and come out here and he just keep coming after me. Then everyone else got into it, and that is when you walked in. I said, okay, I will take care of it. Where is the trainer now? He pointed to one of the corners and he is out cold. I guess I grabbed him and he bounced off the wall and passed out. I said, call the ambulance and have them come and get him. He went over and called. It was not very long when they showed up and said, who called? I said, I did. The trainer is over in the corner and he hit the wall and did not get back up. I don't think he hit the wall that hard to make him pass out. They went over and said he is alive but barely. They put him on a stretcher and took him to the hospital. I said, I will be there in a little while. They said okay and they left with him. Then I said, is everyone alright or do you need to see a doc too? Everyone just looked at everyone and said we will be alright. Then I said, I need to talk to the manager in the office. I got up and went into the office and he come in and sat down and said, how I can help you? I said, I need all the receipts for as far back as you can go and what you have paid everyone as far back as you can go, and room receipts. He said, there is not many receipts, everything was paid in cash from room rentals. Do you have a book that you can show what room was rented and how much you got? And then he had enough to pay all the bills and everyone that was working? I did give everyone a receipt for the room, and at the end of the day I just threw them out and put all the money in the safe. Okay, how do you have in the safe right now? He said, I do not know. It is almost half full of money and I had kept it to pay the bills when they come in and everyone that works here. I said, do you have a box and dolly? He said yes, and then I said, can you go and get them please? He got up and he was not gone long and come back with a box and upright dolly. I said, where is the safe? We are going to take all the money to the bank and deposit it in the account. He said, then how will we pay everyone and the bills? All you have to do is turn in everything into the bank and they will send checks to everyone that is owed, and you can go on Friday and get payroll. With the new computer system, all you have to do is just input everything in it and make a deposit every day. What is taken and everything will get paid by the bank. Now if you don't want to do it this way, I have another job for you, if you want it. I need a new trainer that will go to all the Wisha Inns and do the training. Would you like to do that? He said, wow, can I take my wife with me? I said, you can take her with you and I will set it up so she will not have to pay for a room either. Because only the salesmen get free rooms. You will still have to pay for your own meals. We don't pay for them. You will get company credit card to use for some things. He said, when can I start? I want you to go to the main office in the next 2 or 3 days and get some training so when you come to one of the places like this you will know what to do. We got up and he took me into a room where the safe was and it was pretty good size. He opened it and sure enough it was just about half full. The box he brought will not hold all the money. I said, can you go and get another box to put all the money in? He said okay and left, and I started to fill the box I had, and soon he was back with about the same size box, and with that one we just about filled both of them. I said, you can come with me to the bank and I want you to learn what to do if this happens to you. When you get to one of the inns you will know what to do in this case. I went to one of these before and they did the same thing. It took me a little while to get things set up so everything was working the way it should have been done. It did not take long before we got to the bank, and boy was I glad to get inside the bank and hand over the money to them. The one that took the money in the back said it is going to be some time before we get it counted and deposited in your account. I said that is okay, and I said we will be back later and get the boxes and the dolly. He said you can take the dolly now if you want. I said okay, I will take that now. I guess I don't need the boxes back. So call me with the total. He said okay, and we left, and as we were walking back to the inn I said, is there an assistant manager? He said yes, the one that cleaned the rooms part-time also helped me out when someone did not show up for work. She used to work the desk. I said, is she working today? He said yes she is. When we get back can you get her, because I would like to talk to her. He said okay. We got back and he headed upstairs, and it was not long before they both come in the office. I said to him, you can go home now if you want to and get ready to come to the office. He said okay and he left. I asked her to have a seat and she sat down and she said, okay, what did I do now? I said, how would you like to be the manager here? She just looked at me and said what he did to get fired. I said he got a promotion. He is now the new trainer that goes to all the inns to do the training. She said wow, so he will not be here anymore. I said nope, he is gone. She said that is good, he was really hard to work for. Sometimes he had a short fuse and would fight with them, and sometimes he would get into a fist fight. I said thank you for the information. So when can you start working the desk, and I will show you how to do all the new paperwork now. It is not much because most of it is on the computer. Really it is easier now, you don't have to write anything out either, just print it out. Now this means that we can accept credit cards and debit cards. She said we had a lot of people come in with credit cards and we did not take them and they just left. There is another inn and a hotel down the street, but this one is the closet one to the bus station. That is why they come here first. That is a good idea now to put we accept credit cards now on the door. That will be A+. She said that change will be good for here. All I will say, if he don't pass the training he has to go through, he will not be able to work anywhere in the company. She said he will not pass because of his short fuse. Well, we will see. I hope you can start working the desk now because I have got to go to the hospital to see how the old trainer is doing. She said go ahead and I will call someone to come in and finish cleaning the rooms. I said that will work. I got up and then I said, how far away is the hospital from here? She said go out the door and go left and it is 5th buildings down on the left. You will see it. I said thank you and I should not be long, I want to show you some stuff on the computer. She okay. I left and walked to the hospital and went in and asked for the Wisha trainer, and she said he is in intensive care and it seems like he will make it. He has a bad bump on his head and it looked like someone hit him with something round and pretty good size. I remembered there was a baseball bat behind the counter and I bet he hit him with it. I passed her my card and said, when I can see him can you call me? She said I can do that, I am at the Wisha Inn, please call me there. She said okay. I left and walked back to the inn and she was behind the counter and it seemed like she was trying to learn how to use the computer. I went over and the screen was on and she was on a mail site. I guess she was checking her mail. I said, you checking your mail? She said nope, checking the inn's mail. So times we get reservations in our email. So I have to check it at least once a day or more times if I want. There is a website you can put a room on hold. I said they can also pay for their room online too from the website. Then all you have to do is log in and get all the information, and when they show up all you have to do is just pass them the key. I stayed for a while and show her all kinds of stuff that she can do, and I called the office and got the username and password for the login for this inn. I said, now write this down so you will remember it, and if you are ever logged off you will have to log back on to put in all the information that is needed. What you put in for room rental is saved and sent to the bank, and what you deposit should be the same. If you are 10 cents off, that will not matter much. When you make a deposit you can put all the bills in too and the bank will pay them. You don't have to do that anymore. There is a program on here and everyone will be using it. Everyone will get a username and password to log in, and when they are done work they have to come and log out. Then on Friday about 11 a.m. you can go to the bank and pick up the checks and you can give them out at lunchtime. This way it will give everyone time to go to the bank and cash their check. Now the best thing is if they get laid off they can get unemployment now. Before there was no benefits and how there will be. Plus this way they will get health insurance too. So there is many things that have changed for the better. I have got to go back to the hospital to see if he is alright, and I have to go home tonight, and if I am needed I will come back in the morning. She said okay. I got up and went to the hospital and she said, he is in a room now and you can go and see him. She told me the room number and finally I found it, and when I got in the room and he see me, he said he come up behind me and hit me with the baseball bat he got from some place. I really don't know why he did that. All I asked for was all the receipts he had, and I guess he took it the wrong way. I took care of it and I am going home tonight, and when you get out if you want to go and stay at the inn for about a week and if you feel up to it show her more on the computer. There is a lot of new programs in it and I would like for her to understand them before you leave to go home for a week. The guy does not work there anymore. The assistant manager is now the manager now. He said okay, that will work. I said I am going now, it is almost time for the bus to show up and I will call you tomorrow to find out how you are doing. He said okay. I left and went back to the inn and got my stuff and went to the bus station, and I got there just as it pulled in and I went straight to my room and called the caption and I said I am here and wake me up when we get home. He said okay and hung up. Written by Wisha.